Hi everyone, my name is Selena, thanks for watching, and today I am doing a tag video. I was tagged by Erica over at Snocking on Sunday Books, and it is the Be a Good Human tag, which I saw the original video by Jen Campbell and was truly moved by her story and her just victorious attitude over what could have been negative, but she just is being victorious, and I applaud that. So the purpose of this tag is to show books that you feel helped you become a better person. So while I think all reading has the ability to improve something about who you are, even in the most entertaining and benign books, I think have the ability to make you a better person. I am going to show 4 books that I think throughout different stages of my life made me a better person. I will give a little bit of a background as to why I chose each of these books, and if you guys want to do the video, consider yourself tagged. I think that this should be shared with everyone, and if you don't want to do the video but leave a comment down below, let me know the books or the book that you think most impacted your life and made you a better person. Please leave me a comment down below. Let's have this conversation. This is a good conversation to have, guys. So the first book that I want to show you is maybe not something that you would typically see on a list like this, but R.L. Stine's Goosebumps. I chose this one in particular, Let's Get Invisible. Actually, I took it off my sister's shelf. When I was younger, I was very self-conscious about my reading ability. I was never diagnosed with dyslexia, but I know that that's what I have, and reading has always been a struggle for me in school and out of school. But I picked up R.L. Stine at around 5th grade, and I read R.L. Stine probably well into middle school, and it made me more confident as a reader, and that confidence kind of brought me to where I am today, now being a literacy advocate and a teacher, which I never thought I would be, especially when I was younger reading Goosebump books. But yeah, the confidence that I gained from reading these stories, it couldn't be replaced, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without having read R.L. Stine. Then next up is Children of the River by Linda Crew, and I read this book in middle school after escaping the persecution in Cambodia in the 1970s. She relocates with her family to Oregon, and it's about the journey that she takes with her family in becoming American citizens while still keeping some of their tradition and cultures that they carried with them from Cambodia alive, and that finding that balance between assimilating into a new world while still keeping your culture and identity fresh and vibrant. I never really thought about worlds and cultures and countries outside of the United States much before reading this book, but just hearing her story and then seeing how persecuted her family were in that time, and the hardships that they had to go through, opened my eyes to the wider world. And the way that it impacted me was I've since then have not only just advocated for persecuted people over the world, I've gone on mission trips and will continue to go on mission trips to help those less fortunate. But I'm glad that I got the chance to, at a young age, get active and become an active member of the world community through this book. Next up is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. While this book was fun and entertaining, and I've loved every book in this series, I'm choosing this book particularly for this because, little background on me, I grew up in a religious culture that had a lot of rules and regulations, and one of the things that I was not allowed to do was read books like Harry Potter, and so when the books were coming out, I wasn't allowed to read them. But then as I got older and started to question things, I picked up the book and totally fell in love with the whole series. Not that I lost my faith or anything like that, but I became more of an active participant in my faith, I guess you can say. Started reading more, figuring things out more for myself, rather than allowing people to tell me what my religion dictated. Harry Potter opened my eyes in that aspect and allowed me to engage more passionately in my faith, ironically enough. Lastly, I want to show you Amazing Grace. It's a biography. It's about William Wilberforce, who was someone in Parliament. I'm not sure what their rankings and stuff included. I did read it, but I can't remember. But he was one of the main people to spearhead the abolition of the slave trade in the British colonies, and this particular biography of William Wilberforce was written by Eric Metaxas. Reading this, it made me a better person, in that it made me appreciate more of where we've come as a community. I'm thinking of, Western culture, so that includes places like England, the United States, and France, and places like that. As Western culture goes, how far we've come in such a short amount of time, and truly appreciate the struggles that people had to go to bring us into an age like today. What moved me was that he had this call on his life to end the slave trade, and in doing so he had to engage in community and engage in his society that in a way that he didn't quite necessarily want to, but he did it because he knew that it needed to be done, and people needed to have their eyes open to the horrors of the slave trade. And so, with using William Wilberforce as my example, bringing those hard questions to bear and having those difficult conversations, while it may not be what you want to have, sometimes it's what's needed. And just seeing his example has given me more courage to do that, knowing that in the end it may prove helpful more than harmful. So those are the books that I feel have made me a better person, and I would love to see the books that you feel made you a better person. Again, look for the link down below to the original video by Jen Campbell and the video done by Erica over at Snogging on Sunday Books. Check out their videos, guys, and leave me a link if you're going to do one, or just leave me comments down below. Bye!